Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into Type Soul and ranking all the Schrifts from best to worst so you know exactly which Quincy abilities you should be using. If you're rocking the Quincy lineage, you already know how important these Schrifts are. They are the bread and butter of your combat style. Picking the right one can make all the difference in your battles, so we're here to break it down for you. Whether you're going for pure power, strategy, or versatility, we've got you covered. Now, before we jump into the rankings, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates, because you know these rankings can change as new Schrifts get added and the game updates roll out. So, sit back, grab your snacks, and let's get into the best Quincy Schrifts you need to dominate the battlefield in Type Soul. Let's go! I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking Schrifts in Type Soul. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos. Thanks.
The Schrifts in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Iron and Heat. Alright, so let's talk about some Schrifts in Type Soul that honestly you're going to want to avoid like the plague. If you pull one of these, just do yourself a favor and reroll ASAP, because they're not exactly going to help you crush it in battle. We're diving into the D tier. Yep, the ones that might make you question your luck. First up, we've got Iron. Now this one sounds cool at first. I mean, who doesn't want to be as tough as Iron, right? But in practice, it's not all that. The skills aren't terrible, but they just don't pack enough punch. You've got adamantine kicks, a quick 3-kick combo with the last one dealing some posture damage, but it's nothing to write home about. Iron Breaker is a nice follow-up move where you slam your opponent, but it's not super dependable in a fast-paced fight. And don't get me started on Crushing Fang. It's flashy sure with that shockwave, but good luck actually hitting multiple targets with it. The whole indestructible pose thing is situational at best. Bottom line, looks tough, hits soft. Next, we've got Heat. This one's all about burn damage, but honestly, it's just lukewarm. The passive burn effect is cool in theory, but it's not enough to really make a difference unless you're hitting non-stop. And let's be real, your opponents won't give you that luxury. Scorched Shot is alright if you can hit it from max range to get that stun, but if you're up close, meh. The burner finger stages sound awesome, right? But the damage just doesn't live up to the hype, even with all those explosions. Full burner finger should be the ultimate payoff, but it's just a flashy light show that leaves you wanting more. In short, if you pull Iron or Heat, you're not exactly walking away with a winning ticket. They look good on paper, cool names, flashy effects, all that jazz, but when it comes down to it, they just don't have the impact you need to dominate the battlefield. These are Schrifts that promise a lot but deliver the bare minimum, and you'll quickly find yourself wishing for something with a bit more bite. So, if these pop up for you, don't even hesitate. Go hit that reroll button, cross your fingers, and hope for something that's going to turn the tide in your favor, because these D-tier Schrifts are just not it, folks. Save yourself the frustration and go for something that actually gets the job done. The Schrifts in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Compulsory and Wind. Alright, buckle up, because now we're diving into the C tier Schrifts in Type Soul. I gotta say, these ones are like that half-burnt slice of toast. Still edible, but you could definitely do better. If you find yourself stuck with one of these, I'd highly recommend a reroll because, hey, it's only uphill from here, right? First up, we've got Compulsory. A rare one with a 10% drop rate. It sounds promising at first, but when you break it down, it's just not as good as it should be. You've got skills like Nerve Pull, where you shoot out blockable strings to stun and pull enemies. It's flashy, but it's not always practical. Execution is cool too, grabbing enemies and slamming them into the ground, but it's really only useful if you can actually catch your opponent. And don't even get me started on inorganic control. Summoning stone hands to crush your enemies sounds epic, but in practice, it's just underwhelming. Now, let's breeze over to Wind, a common rarity Schrift with an 86.5% drop rate. This one's all about that wind power. The moves are decent, but they feel like they're missing that oomph. Rend lets you leap up and slam down on an opponent, and yeah, it leaves them stunned, but it's a little predictable. I mean, Cripple is a neat idea where you target someone and basically break their legs. Kinda savage, right? But again, the execution doesn't always match the hype. Even the Wind Barrier passive, which gives you stacks that turn your block into an auto parry, is more like a nice to have than a game changer. So, long story short, these Schrifts aren't the worst of the worst, but they're definitely not worth keeping around for the long haul. If you pull one, don't get too attached. The Schrifts in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Miracle, Visionary, Thunderbolt, Fear and Power. Alright, picture this, you're in Type Soul and you're looking to spice things up with some new Schrift abilities. You don't want the most OP ones, you know, because everyone's using them and it gets boring, but you also don't want to be stuck with something that's, well, a total dud. That's where the B tier Schrift abilities come in. They're the perfect middle ground. These aren't the flashiest or the most broken ones out there, but they definitely bring some interesting niche advantages to the table. So, let's break down what makes these abilities a solid choice. First up, let's talk about Miracle. This one has some pretty fun skills like Low Ruler, where you're shooting out a volley of golden arrows that literally explode. Bonus points if you can blind your enemies in the process. And who doesn't love a bit of ragdoll action with God's direction? The Golden Hand Slam is basically like swatting enemies like flies. Plus, there's a mode gain ability, letting you stay in Vault longer by dealing damage. It's not going to make you the next god of the game, but it's a lot of fun to mess around with and it's got some serious potential if you use it right. Next, we've got Visionary, which is basically like having the power of imagination cranked up to 11. You get all these conjuring abilities like summoning an arsenal of guns or imagining a water prison to trap your enemies. There's something super satisfying about seeing stone pillars converge or launching rockets with your M1s. The whole passive imagination mechanic adds a bit of strategy too. Maximize that bar and boom, you've got new buffs and moves to unleash. Sure, it might not be the most foolproof ability set, but when you land those combos, it feels so good. Now, Thunderbolt is for you lightning lovers out there. You're firing off lightning arrows, throwing thunder javelins, and causing total chaos with splitting thunder. And the tether passive? Oh man, it's perfect for setting up chain reactions where you just keep ragdolling and stunning people left and right. I won't say it's the easiest to pull off consistently, but if you master the timing, it's a blast, literally. The Schrifts in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Explode, Butterfly, and Superstar. Alright, let's dive into the A tier Schrifts in Type Soul, and oh man, these are the ones that really make you feel like a boss without necessarily being the absolute top of the food chain. If you're one of those players who just wants to vibe with their build and not worry about re-rolling every other day, these Schrifts will keep you comfortably powerful from start to finish. We're talking Explosive Punches, Butterfly Grace, and Superstar Swagger. Ready? Let's break it down. First up, we've got Explode, and if you love causing chaos, this one's for you. Think of it like turning yourself into a walking bomb. Your kicks and fists, yeah, they literally explode. You even get a passive ability that makes your explosions match your eye color, which is just chef's kiss for style points. Whether you're pulling off a bomb kick from above or launching a blitz cascade that sends bombs flying everywhere, you're a one-person army. And that ultimate move, Absolute Explosion, full iframes while you charge up a massive blast, it's pure unfiltered power. Then, we flutter over to the Butterfly Schrift, and look, this one's all about finesse. If you like dancing around your opponents and bringing them down gracefully, Butterfly is your pick. You've got moves like Flutterfall, which is great for stunning enemies in a pretty big area, and Celestial Descent, which lets you leap up and slam down, creating a shockwave that ragdolls anyone in your path. It's all about that aerial control, and with Aerial Grace, you can quite literally drag your opponent up and then smack them down with style. It's a nice mix of mobility and damage, perfect if you like keeping the pressure on. And last but definitely not least, let's talk about Superstar. This one's a showstopper, both literally and figuratively. You're teleporting, you're shooting stars from your head. Yeah, you heard that right. And you've even got a cheer squad. The Star Eagle Kick and Star Flash are quick, flashy moves that let you dart around the battlefield. But what makes this Schrift truly special is Superfan. You summon James, your personal hype man, and as long as he's around, you've got a built-in revive, giving you that second chance when things get heated. And if you're in the mood to really go out with a bang, Super Flash Supernova does massive damage and auto-grips enemies when they're low on HP. It's all about style, flair, and pure stardom with this one. The Schrifts in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Death Dealing, Balance, Royal, X-Axis, and Glutton. Alright, so let's dive right into the creme de la creme of Type Soul's Schrifts. These are the S-tier beasts you want on your side. We're talking top-notch, game-changing powerhouses that, if you pull one, you've basically hit the jackpot. You know that feeling when you open a pack and you see that shiny legendary? Yeah, it's exactly like that, but better. So, let's break down why these Schrifts are an absolute must-have. First up, we've got Death Dealing. This one's all about stacking up that lethal dosage, and let me tell you, the way it dishes out damage is absolutely brutal. It's like a ticking time bomb for your enemies. If their dosage hits 100, they're done for, and even if they're at 80 dosage with low health, boom, it's an instant KO. What makes it even crazier is the number of ways you can stack that dosage between throwing the gift ball, setting up gift bad, and the ultimate finisher, gift Bereich. You've got a whole toolbox of pain. Plus, that limited immunity passive, it's a lifesaver. Literally, this guy just refuses to stay down. Now, shifting gears to balance, which, no surprise here, is all about keeping things in, well, balance. This script is perfect for those who want to be the MVP of their squad. You build up order stacks, and the more you have, the better your buffs and heals are. It's like playing a game of cat and mouse with your health bars. The closer you and your opponent are, the more order you gain, and the more you can dish out or support your team. And that perfect parries passive. Whew. When you time it right, you're reflecting damage like a boss. Plus, Fortune's Greed is just pure team utility. Place down that scale and you're either saving your squad or crippling the enemies. There's no losing with this one. And of course, we can't forget X-Axis. This one's for all the snipers out there who love taking that perfect shot. Your Spirit Bow gets replaced with a Reishi-infused sniper rifle. Now we're talking long-range dominance. It's got infinite ammo, so you can just keep popping off shots all day. But the real fun begins with abilities like Fissure and Trumpet. Fissure lets you portal around, sneaking up on enemies like a ghost before dropping a bullet right in their face. And Trumpet? Oh man, when those orbital strikes come raining down, it's like fireworks on the battlefield. And let's be real, those golden Reishi bullets just look straight up chef's kiss. So, that's the rundown on these S-tier scripters. They're powerful, they're versatile, and they're flashy as all get out. Whether you're looking to stack damage, support your team, or just flex those sniper skills, there's something here for every playstyle. If you're lucky enough to pull one, trust me, you're in for a wild ride. So, who's your favorite script so far? Let me know in the comments. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.